Yeah, me too,
Let
man.
me start right here.
All right.
All right, Eric, if you could walk up for me.
Like from the, like
Yeah,
walk
right
up.
about here. So, right here.
Yeah.
Come back.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna stay right up in here whole time, like right where you are.
Yeah.
And when we get done, we will just circle around, take a seat on the chair,
Right.
and we'll start. Anyway,
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and do some like a mini introduction.
All right.
So this is my third guest I got. So before we get into it, I've known Eric since childhood, since elementary, middle school. Phenomenal dude. Like me, he has his own interests. He's very, very unique. I respect him because he is indeed a martial artist, but the type of character that he is. So, like I said with Lou, and like I said with Chris, I just want to introduce y'all to like the people who, in my eyes, in my world, are special. And these are one of the individuals. Eric, I really do appreciate you with this whole content thing that I'm doing. I really appreciate you coming in, getting this workout with me, and I really appreciate you allowing me to. I don't like to call them interviews, but it is what it is. Interviewing you. My intent after this, because I just started a YouTube channel, and I wanted to bring this to my page. My intent or my hope is with, because we all come from all walks of life. I hope you yourself, with what you do in your life, become a content creator and put your own world out there, whether it's podcasting or just showing them uh, your fitness world with the martial arting, with the nutrition and all that. But other than that, if you don't mind, so 10 reps of each. Once we get down, you'll take a seat. Let me go ahead and put it off to the side for you. I'll start, and then we'll just cycle through. I'll grab the timer. It will be for 8 minutes, but we're
Yeah.
going to talk and we're going to engage the whole time.
Sounds good. So will it be like a one after the other or?
Yeah, no, so no, you'll go all the way down.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Let me go ahead and get the timer.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
Lord Jesus. Don't get old, man. That shit's for the birds.
Hey, I can't stop it.
Yeah, you
I
right.
can't stop it.
Yeah, you right. And we will begin. Timer. Clock. There we go. You can do whatever variation of curl that you want. You can do both or you can do single, but you just got to do 10 each arm. And we are
Sounds good.
starting now.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
So, Eric,
beans.
if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, I want to say it's an honor to be on your platform. You know what I mean?
If you can call it that. I appreciate it, though. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
yes, that's
Yeah.
what it is. That's
Okay.
what it is, man.
Thank you, thank you.
So, we'll go ahead and just start curling. I am, 29 years old this year. I have been working out, doing martial arts for since I was about 9 years old.
9 years old.
You know what I
What do you
mean?
train?
So, most of the time, it's always going to be mobility, flexibility. I do some weight training as well. Weight training mostly to keep my bones dense because, number one factor when it comes to bones breaking down, old age is not adding any resistance to it. So the weight training not only keeps the muscles, not only keeps the mind, but it keeps the bones strong.
What martial art?
What martial arts? So I started off with karate when I
Okay.
was younger. Self-taught Jeet Kune Do, anything I could literally emulate from the greats, Bruce Lee, Taekwondo, Ip Man, etc.
Yeah.
And then once I got into college at UNC Chapel Hill, I got into Krav Maga. When at first it was like, who, ma, what now?
Yeah. That's a
then-
Russian, the origin of that is Russian, right?
So this one is actually, it has roots in Europe. The guy, Emil Lichtenfeld, was
That's a
not only
mouthful. Emil
yes,
Lichtenfeld? Okay, got
Emi.
it.
We call him Emi. Emi basically was an Olympic fighter. He did wrestling, he did boxing, he did judo. He basically was champion in all these things. Long story short, he developed Krav Maga, developing principles from these other arts. And
Do
what
we
he-
have a year, like an origin?
so circa I'll just say circa World War II. So around late 1930s, 1940s. After he left Europe, he went to Israel.
Okay.
And basically he joined the IDF, became their senior hand-to-hand combat instructor.
Got you.
So now what we know now as the IDF's, that's the Israel military, their signature hand-to-hand combat system is Krav Maga,
Okay.
basically. So from there, he pretty much taught all around the world.
Okay.
We have masters of Krav Maga here that have trained under Emi, one guy, and then actually the guy that trained me is a grand student of Emi. So he trained under the guy
That trained under
that trained under Emi.
So is it safe to assume that out of all the martial arts that you know, you're most proficient at Krav Maga?
Yes, because it's the one that I've, number one, picked up as I became an adult, so I understood principles much better. Whereas starting out, you know what I mean, the karate, of course, is what I was more naturally inclined to. Okay. But on a technical level, you know, I basically am able to understand and learn Krav in a way that I didn't really learn in my karate. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
To
Come
put it
over
in
just a little
perspective.
bit for me.
Yeah.
Here we go. So what came? And I think you pretty much answered it with with what you just said. But what came first? Was it like martial arts, or was it fitness in general? Whether it was weightlifting, calisthenics, like what came first?
What came first was the interest. And
okay, I like
interest,
that. I'll take that. Okay,
I just got to say that. So what started that? Number one, you know, as a kid, you know what I mean? You see your Power Rangers, you know, again, you see your Bruce Lees, you see your Dragon Ball Z, and, you know, you want to emulate that, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, well, how can I take that and apply it to real life? You know, not only, you know, I know I can't do a Kamehameha, you know, never expected that. But the key thing was, okay, like, these guys have they have a spirit about them. You know what I mean? These characters, these fighters,
And
these
you wanted
actors.
that in real life.
So it's like, okay, well, you know, I see the zero becoming a hero. You know what I mean? I see this guy.
Hercules.
You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah,
I
I
see this
got you.
guy who is, you know, not in tune with his body. He's not, you know, enjoying, you know, being the runt of the litter, right? So, you know, you start to look at that and you're like, man, you know, well, if this can make something out of this, you know what I mean? This guy, this person, this girl, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder what I can be. I wonder what my potential is.
Got you. What that was a lot
More
to
curls?
take in. No. We're gonna keep going until the timer goes off.
Gotcha.
That's my bad.
No, it's all good.
But so that is
That's a mouthful.
that was a lot to take in. Only reason, so it didn't come from like being bullied or wanting to defend yourself. It was just you saw your. So how about this? Like your elders, did they train any martial arts? Like, do you have like a father, grandfather, uncle that has done martial arts?
No, not to my knowledge.
So you're the very first one. You're somewhat. Okay,
to
yeah.
take it this far, you know. I have a great uncle, John Carlos. If the name sounds familiar, 1968 Olympics, Mexico City. Check that out.
Oh wow! All right, we got a little celeb. Now let me stop. Okay,
I don't know about that.
Okay, yeah. I
But
got you,
so he basically was an Olympian, and he wanted to do boxing. Boxing didn't work out. Swimming didn't work out. You know what I mean? So he ran track.
Okay.
But long story short, you know, and I just do it for recreation. You know.
The martial arts.
Right. I don't. You know, I had aspirations and stuff to compete and everything, but you know, I'm actually.
I'm other martial artists, you probably would have gave them a run for their money.
Yeah. I don't know. There are a lot of guys out there, you know, who know their stuff that could pretty much give me a run for my money, you know. But I won't go down without a fight.
I know.
I'll tell you that.
I believe it.
You know.
Well, no, not a lot. If you don't mind me saying this part,
Yeah.
You are actually licensed to train and certified to train. Now, I don't know. To me, that means a lot because a lot of people, you know, they call themselves trainers, instructors, or teachers. One, they never got a licensure or a certifier. They've never even been to a dojo to get their belts, and they've never even been in a cage, you know. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but it's kind of like, I don't know, man. If all you've done is just, you know, what Bruce Lee say, hit boards and they don't hit back, or like just
boards don't hit back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
There we go. You know, it's kind of like, but I'm not taking away from you. You know more than me, but yeah. My bad, brain fog, but you were saying into that before I asked that question?
So before I even progress, I don't have any world-class, world-renowned organization certification, if you will, you know, to speak. It was kind of like a rite of passage, you know what I mean? You know, you're, you know, at the time, you've been a great student, and you know, I would like you to join my team. Therefore, I am licensing you to teach. You know, so that's kind of how that worked out.
Okay.
There was no fancy organization, you know, panel of 12 black belts, you know, saying
Standing like this or whatever.
right.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it was nothing like that for me. You know, and I have to say also on the flip side, there are a lot of guys, man, who are certified that don't know jack, or they're terrible with people. Like they might be fine, right? Fine, you know, artists and fighters, but they suck as an instructor because you know people skills and you know et cetera, stuff like that. And then there are a lot of guys that you know just had somebody like teach them for fun. You know what I mean? They don't have any certifications, just their experience. However, you know they have bred.
We're going to go down the road one more time and we're going to continue the conversation because I love this shit.
It's all good. Like they have bred, you know, some good students, you know what I mean? Some good practitioners. So, you know, it kind of goes both ways, you know, like it just comes to show that your people skills and your ability to take those concepts and break it down, like dummy it down so that even a kid can, like if you can't teach kids and to get them, you know what I mean, to understand those concepts with the hyperactive energy they have, how are you going to hold, you know, that with an adult?
Well, I feel like adults are more hard-headed. Well, this isn't me speaking from the, because I'm not a martial artist.
No, I understand.
I don't call myself a power lifter yet, and got on the platform. I'm not a bodybuilder, but like in the aspects of life, I feel like it's easier to teach a youngin versus an adult because we got that mindset, motherfucker, who are you to tell me, you know, I'm a grown-ass man or I'm a grown-ass woman type shit.
Right.
I feel like that factor kind of plays in pretty much all aspects of life.
Yeah.
Aspects of life, but
you know, I find it, if we generalize it, kids do a better job from ground zero in building them up.
got you.
Adults, on the other hand, will retain the higher level, you know, knowledge behind what they're doing. You teach a kid, do it this way. They do it 100 times, you know what I mean? They're gonna be able to do it with, you know, closer accuracy, you know, much faster than an adult. But if you tell them, okay, do this because, but not, you know, do it too soon, those cues, giving them the right cues and the reason for those cues, that's how they tend to tune out. It'll take them longer to get there, but they will understand, you know, the for what or for the why, you know. But it's really a person by person. You get your hard-headed kids just like you get your hard-headed adults, you know.
So if you don't mind me asking, since we're on the topic of it, how supportive was your family? Well, since you've been doing it since you were 9 years old, I'm assuming they were very supportive of you wanting to do martial arts. So I'd imagine that you started and you were good at it and they felt like it wasn't a waste of time, so they allowed you to stick with it. You know how some parents or some people or whatever, they'll let their kid do like a sport. Like if they suck at basketball, they'll be like, I'm not going to put my money, you know, he sucks. If he sucks, you know, whatever the general sport is, like they're not going to invest in it if you're not, one, excelling in it. Basically, if you ride the if you ride the bench the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm
I can
assuming
see
since
that.
you were young, you were what's the word I want to look like
conditioned.
Gifted at it when you first. Well, nah, that's probably me speaking out of ignorance because anybody can be good, you know, at anything regardless of the sport, right?
Right.
But like, so what made them, from your perspective, say, hey, we're gonna allow him to train or whatever and continue doing this form of training? Because you started at 9, correct?
Yes, I want to say 9 years old, so about 4th grade when I started. You know, the karate thing, and the thing is, I never progressed to the level that I wish I could have.
Okay.
You know, my mom saw it as a passion, and she loved that. So she was like, all right, you know.
So a loving mother supporting her son's passion.
Right, you know, like this is what he wants to do it. And, you know, before I get too far into that, even when I stopped it and I wanted to run track and play rec basketball, you know, she was always, you know, as long as you want to do it, I'm going to support you, you know?
Okay. That's what most supporting parents, they should do from.
Right.
Got you.
Ooh, all right, we get
All right,
it.
yeah, like I said,
We
just
getting
be
it.
like, you feeling it, ain't you?
Getting it, yes. So,
Let me tell you something, my boy Lou, when he grabbed the 50s yesterday, I was like, dog, we doing this for 8 minutes?
that's a beast right there.
Yeah.
But hey, he did that. But as I was saying, you know, it's basically that passion because we showed the interest, you know what I mean? And, you know, I could have been doing it and not enjoyed it. I might have been good, you know what I mean? But if it was
But
just
not
like,
enjoy the sport,
you know, I don't want to do this anymore, you know what I mean? At that point, it's like, all right, well, you know, it's on you. If you decide you don't want to go to practice anymore, that's cool. you know, but it's on you. And there was only one sport that I walked away from, you know. It was the day that I actually got the jersey, got the pads, you know what I mean? And, you know, that was a different me back then. I really learned from that. And, you know, you never want to, if it's something that you say you're going to do and you really want to do, all I got to say is don't start what you don't intend to finish.
I will take that. I'll take that. Do you feel like that's a non-martial arts but sports period? You feel like that's like a common problem among sports?
Common problem?
Like
Maybe.
starting something and not finishing it?
Maybe so, you know what I mean? Now, if
We're
you can't
done,
finish,
we're done. We're just chopping it up at this
got
point.
you. If you can't, you know, finish for some reason, you know, injury, you know, family situation, finances, whatever, you know, that's fine. You know, many of us have those extraneous circumstances, but you know, if you're out here, you know, telling the whole world how you're gonna be the best fighter, you know what I mean? You get one knockout and you quit, you know, like, dude, you know, what happened to that spirit? Is your spirit so easily broken? If it was so easily broken, maybe it was never there to begin with. You know
So
what I
there
mean?
are a lot of angles. We're gonna discuss one more thing and then we'll end it. I do want to do more of this with you because there's a lot of aspects and angles that we can talk about.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to end it with, this particular question, when you were a teacher, what year was, this was before COVID, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
this
how many years did you teach?
So I want to say at UNC Chapel Hill's campus when I got there, 2015. Like I said, it was Krav Maga.
Krav Maga, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I started literally that year. We had a Krav Maga club on campus, and the torch was passed down for me, you know, as co-president of the club. So I'll say 2016 was when I started teaching on campus.
Okay.
And then once I matriculated into the Krav school, I was teaching not only cardio kickboxing classes and running 6-week fitness challenges, transformation challenges, but I was also teaching Krav Maga level 1. You know what I mean? And
How many levels are there?
that was certified, so there are 5, you know?
Oh, Lord
5
Jesus.
plus your black belts all the way to the 12th degree.
So it's safe to say you've been training, licensing, and certifying probably others for 5 years? Safe to assume that?
For about, I'll say 4 years, just about. So from
4?
2016 to
Okay.
2019, you know?
So what type of people, as a teacher, like what type of people have you come across, and what have you learned in the realm of martial arts with the people that you have taught?
I've come across all walks of people, young, old, you know, fit, not fit, disciplined fighters, undisciplined.
Did any of them ever use those skills to get in the cage, get on the, what's it? I don't want to say the platform, but like to get their certifier in whatever other martial art they wanted to. Like, were they like combat ready, if that makes sense?
Seeing that Krav Maga is banned, you know, in the ring.
Oh, so they definitely weren't. Okay, never mind.
Banned.
Okay.
Okay. So, but what I can say is that, you know, the conditioning, you know, I can remember maybe one guy who was big into, I want to say it was BJJ.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he just took Krav for the conditioning. Okay. You know what I mean? So it was just literally, this is a workout for me. I thank you for teaching me this, but I just want to let you know off the bat, I'm not using it. I'm like, okay, cool. So it's conditioning for you, right? Yeah. All right, cool. You'll be doing the most burpees at the end of class.
Oh, I know he looked at you like, you motherfucker. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but he took it to the cage, man. Like the conditioning, you know, that he needed, I guess, for, you know, I don't know if it was for a weight class that he was trying to get into, but he did that. He completed the challenge, you know, with the right specifications. And, you know, this guy, every now and then I'll see a post of him, you know, winning matches, you know what I mean? And all I have to say is, you know, all I did was talk to him, yell at him, do this, do that, faster, slower. But, you know, that's his hard work. I won't take credit for that.
Okay, my bad. Last question. And
It's all good.
My bad, because it's hot in this motherfucker.
It is.
Now, so did you enjoy training children more or adults?
That's a tough one, man.
Why
That's
is
a
that?
tough one. I say because I really enjoy it all throughout. Each one has their caveats, you know what I mean? Each one has their challenges. Honestly, my favorite people to train are the ones that are ready to go. You know what I mean? You show up to class, we get on the mats, you know, we bow. I'll play the music, and it's like a party.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So the people who are having a good time training, you know, who cares if you don't get the technique on the first or the 100th try? As long as you are having fun, you know what I mean? That's all that matters. We come in, we sweat, sometimes we bleed, you know, sometimes we throw up even. You know, sometimes we cry, you know what I mean? But I'm sitting right there, yes, I'm sitting right there beside you. You know, hey, you are doing this. We are
Y'all,
doing
this gonna
this.
sound so fucked up.
I'm
but
gonna get down there and do them push-ups with
See,
them.
this makes me happy. Nah, that's the punk way. But nah, this makes me happy that we allowed the 2 pistols depending on the situation. Oh, that's so fucked up. Nah, let me
You know,
stop.
whether you're a
Yeah,
child or an
yeah.
adult, you know, as long as, you know, if there's an opportunity for me to boost morale, I'm gonna do it. If I gotta stop the music, you know, can I get a hell yeah? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
so
And
we stone
everybody
cold
gets
bet.
on board.
The glass shatters and they just
Right,
get going.
exactly.
Okay, say
you
less.
know what I
say
mean?
less.
If I gotta stop the whole class, everybody stop. You know what I mean? So and so is gonna get one more push up, and they're clapping them on, and I'm down there with them.
So it's a camaraderie.
You can
type
do
thing.
one more.
Okay.
Another one. DJ Khaled. Another one. You just told me you couldn't do it.
And he did it.
You did 5. I didn't hold a gun to your head.
You know, I know I said this. Okay, last question, because like I said, we could go in different areas,
man.
and I do plan on doing another one with you. So with that being said, managing your, because we didn't get into this part. I did this with Chris and I did this with Lou.
I'm gonna hit some more of these curls,
I
man.
got
Go
you,
ahead.
I got you. Managing your personal life with the job that you do, friend life, family life, job life, or whatever. Is it harder for you to, and just take away making content, because anybody can obviously get behind the camera and just hit the record button.
Right.
But managing your aspects of fitness or your martial arts with your daily life, is it harder, like, or easier? Out of curiosity, like basically being a responsible adult, but managing this.
If I had to do a black and white, you know, easier or harder, I would say it's definitely more challenging. And that's because, you know, number one, I'm not single anymore.
Okay.
You know, number two, I work way longer. Whereas when I was teaching full time, it was 55-minute blocks.
Okay.
You know, but I might spend 6 hours there doing maybe 4 classes, eating lunch there. You know, whereas
So it
now,
was just fitness. It was like cycle through, just constantly you were putting your body in some form of strain.
yes.
Fitness wise. Okay.
and even while I'm instructing, I'm not sitting here, you know,
like with your arms folded like
I'm
this.
sweating
Okay.
with them. I'm
Okay,
doing burpees with you. I'm kicking the bag with you.
Okay.
Only difference is I'm yelling doing it.
Okay, I got
you.
you,
Know?
I got you.
So it was that, burning about 4,000 calories a day. Now, you know, as a paramedic, you know, I'm working 12 and a half hours or more. So, you know, it's a different dynamic. It's definitely more challenging having to manage my time, you know, with my wife, family, other responsibilities.
Got you.
As well as, you know, trying to stay sharp on the job and everything, not get injured. But, you know, you live with it, you work with it, and, you know, you overcome those obstacles. So that's pretty much it, man.
So I have to cut it right here because I'll get to yapping and asking more questions. But like I said, time permitting, I will bring you back on. We'll talk about aspects of your life. I want to get into the nutrition aspect or whatever because,
100%.
bro, like the physique you have, a lot of people, they come in here and they tired, like bro's just, damn. You feel me? So I want to get into that aspect. But again, thank you for coming on here, allowing me to
Of course, brother.
share these aspects and views with you. Eric, I really, really appreciate you, man.
Thank you for
And like I
having me.
said, last thing, and you work 12-hour shifts, so the last thing you probably worried about is making content. I highly encourage you, like, hey, man, if you can or when you can, put stuff like get a platform of whatever, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever. Get a platform of your own and like put that out there, especially where we're from and what we're around.
100%.
I feel like people like us, they need to see stuff like this, just everyday
100%.
people, because again, respectfully, people turn on the record button and they get into a moniker, they get into a character, and it's like it's not real, it's not
Right.
generic.
What you do off camera matters 100% more.
And this has been nothing but real the whole time, and
This
that I
is it.
appreciate you for.
No edits, no cuts.
No,
Man,
nothing.
Thank you for
So,
having me.
Hey, brother. All right, all love.
Love you,
Thank
bro.
you. And we are out.
Yes, sir.